Imagine waking up one morning to find the lights out, planes grounded, hospitals paralysed and banks offline, all without a single missile being fired. Or picture cities reduced to rubble, soldiers clashing on battlefields, and the deafening roar of tanks rolling through smoke-filled streets. This is the stark contrast between cyberwar and kinetic war. One invisible yet deeply invasive, the other violently physical and tragically familiar. But which is more dangerous? And why does the answer matter more today than ever before? Welcome to our deep dive into cyberwar versus kinetic war, which is more dangerous, where we explore the threats shaping the future of national security, and maybe even our everyday lives. To understand which is more dangerous, we first have to define what we're dealing with. Kinetic warfare is the traditional idea of war: physical force, bombs, bullets, soldiers, and destruction you can see and touch. Think world wars, Vietnam, Iraq, or any conflict where territory changes hands through bloodshed. Cyber warfare, on the other hand, is a battle fought in the digital shadows. Hackers, malicious code, and hidden attacks that target critical systems without ever firing a shot. It can disrupt power grids, shut down hospitals, steal sensitive government secrets, or manipulate public opinion with disinformation. The battleground isn't trenches or skies, it's servers, networks, and the invisible pathways of the internet. And unlike traditional wars, cyber attacks can be launched from anywhere, by anyone, often without leaving fingerprints behind. In kinetic wars, the human cost is tragically clear: lives lost, cities bombed, families displaced, and entire regions left in ruins. The devastation is visible in destroyed buildings, wounded soldiers, and graveyards filled with those who never made it home. But cyberwar carries its own human toll, even if it's less obvious. Imagine hospitals losing patient records during a cyber attack, leaving doctors helpless to treat the sick. Or a power grid collapse in the dead of winter, leaving millions freezing in the dark. While fewer people might die immediately in a cyber assault, the ripple effects can be just as deadly: starvation, disease, financial ruin, and societal chaos. The real danger: many victims might never know they're under attack until it's far too late. One of the biggest differences between kinetic and cyber wars lies in scale and reach. A kinetic attack usually has physical limits. Weapons can only reach so far, armies can only move so fast. Cyber attacks, however, can span the globe in seconds. A single hacker in one country can strike power grids, banks, or government agencies on the other side of the world. In 2017, the NotPetya malware, unleashed during geopolitical tensions, caused an estimated $10 billion in damages worldwide. And it wasn't even aimed at every victim it hit. The speed and reach of cyber weapons make them dangerously efficient, allowing adversaries to strike targets thousands of miles away, often anonymously. Unlike a missile, which explodes and is gone, malicious code can spread, mutate, and resurface months or years later. In kinetic warfare, the line between battlefield and civilian areas is tragic but often clear. In cyberwar, everyone's a potential target, and nowhere is truly safe. Another reason cyberwar can be more dangerous lies in something known as attribution, figuring out who launched the attack. When missiles hit a city, we often know where they came from. Satellites track launches, radars trace trajectories, and intelligence agencies follow troop movements. But in cyberspace, attackers hide behind layers of fake identities, stolen computers, and complex routes through global networks. Governments might suspect a certain country or group, but proving it beyond doubt can be nearly impossible. This uncertainty creates a dangerous fog of cyberwar, making it hard to know whether an attack was state-sponsored, the work of criminals, or even rogue individuals. The consequences are huge. A country could retaliate against the wrong enemy, escalating tensions into a physical conflict. And that's why cyber attacks, even small ones, carry risks of misunderstandings that could spiral into kinetic war. Traditional kinetic warfare demands huge investments: tanks, planes, missiles, fuel, and armies. It's expensive, logistically complex, and requires years of preparation. Cyber warfare, in contrast, can be shockingly cheap. A skilled hacker with a laptop and an internet connection can unleash chaos once reserved for nations with billion-dollar defense budgets. Malware tools and stolen data circulate on dark web markets, sometimes for just a few $100s. This low barrier means more actors, from rogue states to hacktivists to criminal gangs, can get involved, multiplying the number of potential threats. In kinetic war, the number of nations capable of waging significant campaigns is limited. In cyberspace, almost anyone can become a player, and that makes the battlefield far more unpredictable. And while a single missile destroys one target, a piece of malware might infect thousands of systems, costing companies and governments billions. Wars are fought not only on battlefields, but also in the minds of people. Kinetic warfare shocks the world with dramatic images, explosions, destroyed cities, soldiers in combat. It's visceral and impossible to ignore. Though less visible, can be even more psychologically destabilizing because it sows uncertainty and fear. Imagine waking up to see your bank account wiped out, your city's power off, or false news stories flooding social media. People feel violated, confused, and unsure who to trust. The psychological toll of not knowing who is attacking you, or why, can create panic without a single physical shot being fired. Cyber attacks can erode public confidence in institutions, spark protests, or even influence elections. In many ways, cyberwar is a battlefield of perception where fear and confusion become weapons as powerful as bombs. The modern reality is that cyberwar and kinetic war don't always stay separate. Increasingly, nations and groups blend both into a single strategy called hybrid warfare. Imagine hackers shutting down enemy communications just before tanks roll across a border, or cyber attacks disabling air defences, clearing the skies for missile strikes. We've seen hints of this in conflicts like the Russia-Ukraine war, where cyber attacks accompany ground invasions to disrupt logistics, sow panic, and influence global opinion.